Differences of taxes and regulations among the countries are a big difficulty to global companies. I'm Luciene Miranda, and this is São Paulo Direct by Dukascopy TV in a partnership with La Presse. And I'll talk now to Joe Harpaz, Managing Director of Tax and Accounting of Thomson Reuters. Please, tell us your view about taxes and regulations here in Brazil.
Sure, and thank you for having me.
Thank you.
So what we're seeing historically, there has obviously been taxes in every country and complications in every country around taxes. But what's changing now is really new transparency and a global view on taxes. So what does this mean? Until now, a company that might operate in different countries is doing tax work in those countries and submitting their taxes to the revenue authority in that country. Over the last couple of years, though, there's been an initiative led by the OECD called BEPS. And BEPS stands for Base Erosion and Profit Shifting. And while this is an OECD initiative, it is, I think, an initiative that's going to affect companies around the world. And what BEPS is all about is ensuring that companies are following guidelines, that they are paying the right amount of taxes in every country around the world. Part of that is it's going to force companies to provide information of how they operate, where they operate, how much taxes they pay in every country that they operate. This is information that today is not disclosed. So it's going to create a burden on companies now to provide a lot more information. So if you're a Brazilian company, you might have to share information about your taxes paid in Europe, in Asia, in the United States, whereas today you may not share that to all the governments. So it's going to create a lot more pressure, and I think it's going to put a big demand on tax departments around the world.
During your presentation here in this conference, you talked about a professional called taxologist.
Yes.
Can you talk about this?
Absolutely. So we launched, Thomson Reuters created and launched the Taxologist program. And it's a play on words. So we took tax and technologist and put it together. And why did we do that? Well, what we see is in order for tax departments to deal with all these global challenges, they have to use technology. And what we found is you had tax professionals who are great at tax, but they did not really have the tools or the skills on the technology side. And then we had IT people who don't really understand tax. So we think that there's a gap. And the Taxologist program is all about bringing together the understanding of the tax workflow of a large company and the technology skills, and creating sort of a new community of professionals who are experts in technology and tax. And it's been very, very successful for us. So we launched it last year in the United States. We also launched it in Australia. This year we're launching it here in São Paulo in Brazil. And it's really a way for the community of professionals to work together and improve the operations and the lives of those whose job it is to do taxes for large companies.
What about the product you showed of Thomson Reuters, the One Source? Can you talk to us about it?
Sure. OneSource is the suite of tax technology products developed by Thomson Reuters. OneSource is not one product, it's a set of products. So we have OneSource in Brazil. We have products here in Brazil that allow a company to deliver all its tax obligations using software. We have OneSource products in countries all around the world. It helps automate indirect taxes, income taxes, automation of things like transfer pricing, customs and duties and global trade. So it's really, you can think of it as an enterprise software solution for tax and for finance.
Joel, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Luciene Miranda to São Paulo Direct by Dukascopy TV.